Today's video is going to be a little bit different than our typical travel vlogs because we're going to be doing a joint Q&A with the Newstate Nomads about RVing in Mexico.
Oh my
So strangest food, in general, how was the food, and what's your favorite?
It's a great question.
Welcome to Teotihuacan, SA! Would you rather permanently not have air conditioning or running water in your RV, or eat Hot Pockets for every meal?
We're never gonna win this.
Yeah, I know, you need to step your answer game up.
Oh, okay. Oh, challenge.
In
when-
the area.
When in Puebla, when Aunt Laura is fresh, you get it.
You get it.
So we have lots of questions here that you guys asked us, and we're going to be kind of doing a round table, answering questions, sharing both of our perspectives, since even though we kind of did the same path and had the same experiences, we're completely different people. So we want to share our own perspectives, and we're going to have some fun playing a few Would You Rathers. So get ready to enjoy and learn about RVing in Mexico.
Mary QRLS wants to spend long periods of time in Mexico. So would you recommend RVing to Baja and boondocking or camping at a park, or drive a car to Mexico and stay in an Airbnb?
I think it really depends on who you are and what you're trying to get out of it and how long you plan on staying. For long periods of time, for us, I think it's been nice to have our RV because we have all of our creature comforts, our pets, all of our things.
Baja specifically, I don't really know what it's like camping in Baja yet because we haven't made it there, but keep watching because we're probably going to come down Baja when we come back.
Yeah.
So we'll let you know then. But as far as travel style, I would definitely prefer the RV full-time over skipping around Airbnbs.
And I've heard that Baja has so many free campgrounds. I think you could actually probably save a lot of money in the long run by having your RV or a car and camping where you go because of that reason.
From a comfort standpoint, I mean, I could do either. I really enjoy having the home, just like you guys were talking about. Having a home on wheels is amazing. You have everything that you want and need. I will say that having the Airbnb in Mexico City was awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like a hybrid. Like, we're kind of doing a hybrid so far. Like 99% of the time has been in the RV, but then the 1%, like when we were in Mexico City, maybe we might do that again.
So hybrid, and it depends on you. That's the answer.
Let's just go 24/7. F&T, Eleanor Scoville, and Marty all asked, did you have any experience with crime, or did you ever feel unsafe? Did you ever feel threatened?
I'll have to start with the end of that. We've never felt unsafe or threatened. Now, have we seen crime
Or
experience?
sketchy scenarios? Yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
But we had to walk through an alley to get to the square. Guys over there, doing what they do. I don't know what it is that they do.
Nothing we want to partake in.
But this pack of dudes in particular, we were walking to, I think we were just walking to get something to eat. And definitely Thomas and Stacy was with me that night. And the guy was like, hey, where are you from? In English. Everyone else just kept like, and I'm talking to the dude, I'm like, Florida. And then I was like, well, I guess that's going to be it. So I started walking again, and he just screamed out, welcome to Teotihuacan, SA! And I was like, okay. So
everyone's really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, just be aware of your surroundings. Right. Don't put yourself in stupid situations. We weren't trying to partake in any illegal activity being here.
Would you agree that, just like the United States, there are areas of Mexico that you wouldn't go and you should avoid?
I'd say it's less like entire towns, more just like neighborhoods, just like the United States, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, be smart. There's going to be a good side and kind of like a bad side where more crime happens.
It's like, if you don't feel comfortable in the street, your intuition is telling you something, and you should probably not entertain whatever's going on and just get back to a safe area.
Mm-hmm. That is some great advice. I would say that's worth 1,000 points.
Woo!
Yes.
We don't get extra points for a story?
Or rambling.
You did. You got 1,000 points.
I got 1,000 ramble points.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was 100 points for the question, 900 points for bonus because of the ramble.
We're winning.
For now.
Next question.
All right.
Oh, go ahead.
We've been awarded no points.
I forgot about the points. I'm back in it.
Okay.
I will be really listening for good answers.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Cocaminga Handmade Cards and Jerry Dominato asked, how long do you think you can stay there if this pandemic lasts until, say, November?
The short answer is until July 31st.
Our tourist visa runs out on July 31st. We and the RV have to leave at that point. So right now our plan is to just hunker down here. It's safer for us. We're in a really comfortable spot. It's cheaper for us, and I mean, when you're next to the beach, it's really not that bad. So our plan is to stay here. Hopefully things will reopen. If not, we come back around July 31st. Steve Hasselberg asked, this trip must have stressed your RVs to the max. How did they hold up, and what problems did you have? Do you have any tips for someone considering full timing in a similar rig?
I will say it stressed me. The stress that was put on the rig has stressed me. I mean, we have an excellent build quality, and so I know that it can sustain, but the roads are very bad here, and it hurts you when you go over a tope too fast that you don't see, or there's just, bad pavement. It rocks and rolls and rattles things, and we've scraped things, but overall, I think it's held up well.
Yeah, I don't think we've actually had any real damage since we got here.
I mean, we've had probably more damage to our RV. We hit a tunnel. Yeah, that's a fun one. Our roof hit the tunnel.
Oh yeah.
We've also broken our step, or our step was lower down on our RV than other RVs, so it's dragged when it's been like low bottoming out experiences. And so finally we just decided not to fix it anymore, and it's just not working until we get back to the US.
What I would suggest for anyone that plans on either full timing or coming down into Mexico with a similar rig would be, especially coming from a used rig standpoint, like make sure your tires are new. Don't come down here with used tires. Both of us actually did suspension upgrades before we came down, and I feel like that paid off greatly for allowing the rigs to handle these rough roads. Minimal tools, depending on what your rig is, domestic or import, you're gonna need obviously the appropriate tools for either. Y'all get 1,000 points for not crashing into a tunnel.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
We didn't crash in the tunnel.
You didn't.
You gotta hug that center line.
Yeah. Okay. Cash STT asked, how do you guys divide the day-to-day chores? Who cooks breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Who cleans?
For us, it's like a duel.
Yeah.
Dennis definitely takes more of the daily activities because I work. While I'm working, a lot of times he'll either help make breakfast or lunch or start dinner, or he'll do stuff like around. But if I'm not working, I'm happy to help cook or clean. I think it's definitely a shared responsibility, but he's more of the day-to-day.
Well, I definitely have less of a calendar schedule to follow, so I don't mind picking up the daily minutia. It's just easier that way.
Very
But,
grateful. My husband vacuums and cleans.
100 points for that. I love to clean.
She loves cleaning. I love cooking. It works. She also loves to clean dishes after I clean.
Oh my
Or
God.
after I cook.
Hallelujah.
I don't know if I
works.
love that part, but
She said she loves it.
Okay, 100 points for that. So this is a popular topic. We had 3 questions from 3 separate people about food. So, Randy Rainwater asked, what was the strangest food that you ate in Mexico? FNT asked, how was the food? And JM Miraless 006, sorry if I just butchered that, what was your favorite food you ate here?
oh my
So
goodness.
strangest food, in general, how was the food, and what's your favorite?
The food has been awesome here.
The food is
Awesome.
phenomenal. I think everything we've eaten really has been so good. At least everything I've eaten.
Delicious, fresh food, and very inexpensive.
The strangest thing we've eaten?
Crickets, right?
Yes. My favorite. Can I have 2 favorites?
I mean, technically the word favorite would probably not allow to, but sure. There's no rules.
Am I gonna get points docked for that?
Sure.
Okay, well my favorite just grab and go food, I just love tortas. I think they're good. I think that you can have a very different experience with every torta that you get. But the mole
No 2 tortas are ever the same.
the mole duck fritter tower that I had in Mexico City was one of the best things that I've ever put in my mouth.
Oh, duck.
We ate ant larva when we were in Puebla, and it's like a delicacy there. It's kind of like it would be for caviar. I mean, it's not every day that you say, what'd you have for lunch today? Oh, I just had a lovely tortilla filled with ant larva. I mean, it's just not super common, but it actually wasn't bad. But my favorite thing that we've had so far has actually been tamales that we ate in Puebla. We ended up finding this like stall that only opens, I think it was for 2 or 3 hours every night on certain days of the week. And they just brought the tamales. They had like 9 flavors. You can only get it to go because the place is so small. You can't sit down and eat tamales there. We got 4 tamales, which cost us 60 pesos. We devoured them at the bar down the street and then went back and got like 7 more. They were so good to take home. I mean, we did eat 2 more at the restaurant and then we just took the rest home. It was so good.
I would say that's probably negative 100 points because they didn't actually bring any of this food here right now. So, negative 100.
Okay.
We definitely didn't share it.
No, we didn't. Okay, Randy Rainwater, what would you do different on your next trip to Mexico? Great question, Randy Rainwater. I would have purchased certain things or more of certain things, just that now that I know are hard to find here, I would have prepared better. Like I pretty much just bought tons of everything not knowing, and there's been some stuff that we have like backstocked that there's been ample opportunity to buy here, and then there's been other stuff I haven't been able to find, so now I just kind of know what to stock up on better. I would also make sure that we don't move as quickly. When we first started, we were moving very fast to try and get to Mexico City for flights that we had already booked, so we were kind of on a deadline and there wasn't wiggle room, so we were hauling butt. And I would make sure that next time that we go, if possible, we would spread out the travel time so that it's not so overwhelming, stressful on our vehicles, or stressful on us.
Yeah.
Everything she said.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, so 2,000 points.
Oh, for us? Yeah, because I mean...
All right, Cocaminga Handmade Cards has asked, has everyone been nice to you? And F&T asked, how is the communication with the locals?
Good. Everyone's been extremely nice.
Yeah.
Like,
everyone's super nice. Locals, literally, okay, so perfect example of this is when we were in Puebla. We're sitting down in some random Al Pastor taco shop, and this guy comes in and is literally to us and everyone, you know, enjoy your meal, hey, how y'all doing? Like, people talk to each other and converse in passing on the streets.
and people are very accommodating if you have a question or you don't know where to go or you're looking for help with something. I speak a little bit of Spanish to kind of get us by, but there's definitely a communication barrier to a point, and they're happy to use like pointing or symbols or sign language pretty much to kind of get the point across. Sometimes people will even walk us to the destination to show us where we're trying to go. Like the other day we were trying to find fish.
Yes.
And we asked, is there shrimp? Can we buy shrimp? The place didn't have it, and he got on his motorcycle and drove us to where they sold shrimp.
Us there. Yeah, I agree. People just go out of their way to make sure that you're having a good experience, that you're taken care of, that your questions are answered. And that's just been absolutely amazing. The people are phenomenal here. I want to add too that Howard and I, out of the 3 couples, have had the most run-ins with the police for some reason.
You've had a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they're always so friendly and helpful.
This one, I bet it's gonna be good. M Broomer 1 says,
What's up, moms?
what is your favorite place in Mexico you have visited so far, honey?
Honey?
She didn't say honey.
She didn't say honey.
Oh,
But she does say honey. It does sound like her.
I just guessed.
Favorite place? Probably for me has been Las Grutas Tolatango. The video comes out next week.
It's a special one.
It was awesome.
I'm probably gonna have to say that Vita Bravo is my favorite so far. Just because of the activities that we did, we got to see thousands, if not millions, of butterflies and paraglide off the side of a mountain. So, that was by far the most amazing thing we've done thus far.
Is that yours too?
That was mine.
Yeah.
Those 2 items were absolutely number 1 and number 2 on my bucket list of things I wanted to do in Mexico. So I was so glad that we were able to do that.
My favorite was Guanajuato.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's hard, right? Everything has been so amazing and beautiful. That was the one place that I had done the most research on prior to coming, and it did not disappoint. I just felt like everything was beautiful. The food was delicious. We had really great experiences. The people were awesome. So, yeah, I'd have to say, as of right now, it's probably my favorite. But it's all been awesome. Good one. Cash SST. STT, sorry. How do you manage conflict resolution in real time when decisions have to be made quickly? In other words, there is stress, tension, and disagreements in every relationship. How do you deal with it considering you live in such close quarters and most likely don't get a lot of alone time?
I would say for us, we try and remember in the heat of the moment that tensions are high and try not to react. A lot of the time, sometimes we'll just like let things cool or walk away from that moment and then revisit it and kind of try and work through it when tensions are not as high or in the peak of like the decision-making moment. Also, alone time, we just try and like build in as much alone time as possible given the opportunity. Like if he wants to step outside and just sit in the hammock, I give him that space. For us, like as separate couples but traveling together, we also like, you know, we'll text each other if we're considering rather than just like popping in on each other. We try and give them their workspace and maybe like meet up on the weekends or in the afternoon when we know everyone's kind of chill rather than assuming we're just hanging out all the time. But it is a fine balance, and there's times it's definitely out of whack for how we're dealing with things, but talking through it I think is huge.
So one of our clients, when we first hit the road, told me that, because we got married, by the way, since we've been on the road, which that's kind of a big deal. But he said that if we can actually make it a full year, full timing in an RV, we deserve to get married. Because it does challenge you, it really does. And you're doing everything together, and you are around each other way more than almost any couple I can imagine that doesn't full-time or in some way have this confining, you know, travel situation. So it can certainly challenge you, but I think that we have persevered and we've done well, and clearly it was worth it. We got married. So 1,000 points to us for getting married while on the road.
Yeah, and I think just communicating and at the end of the day, remembering that you are on the same team. And in those stressful moments, I think just forgiving what somebody might say or do in those heated moments and not holding a grudge.
Just don't take it personally if your, you know, RV partner is, you know, a little afraid at the moment.
Yeah.
Hetty's Motorhome Adventures asks, do you think that you will ever travel to the UK or Europe for an RV holiday?
Yes.
Yes.
We've all
110%.
We've all talked about it.
Yes.
It's definitely on our list.
Yeah.
F&T, have you gone to a dentist or any other medical care facility while in Mexico?
Nope.
No. Although I almost had my teeth cleaned in Teotihuacan.
We should have done that.
Yeah. And it is true. It is cheap. Like way cheaper than it is in the United States.
How did you guys meet as a couple, not eat CRV in the Newstates?
Net.
Like not how we met, but
Okay.
Short answer, at the bar.
He was a bartender at my favorite bar, and I thought he was cute, and so we started chit-chatting. I gave him some sass the first time because I was a little tipsy, and I can be a little sassy sometimes when I get tipsy. Anywho, on New Year's Eve, I asked him to give me a kiss, and then we went on our first date New Year's Day.
I love that story.
Yep. That's literally that simple. We're pretty much inseparable ever since.
Really, yeah.
We met opening a roller coaster in Charlotte, North Carolina at Carowinds.
There's a picture of the very first time that we met.
Within 5 minutes of meeting.
And then fast forward, because we were just friends and just,
Yep.
we worked in different departments. And then fast forward to like years later, we reconnected and hit it off.
Yeah.
Jackson and Coco Minga Handmade Cards asks, how much did it cost? Did you need more money than you thought? I'm
Great
assuming
question.
Mexico
Yeah.
in general?
So RVing Mexico costs have been all over the place. We actually had this discussion last night. It's a wide range. It depends on how much exploring you're doing. This month we're in quarantine, so guess what? Our budget is like nothing.
So cheap.
It's so cheap. We actually looked at our expenses, paying for our RV, paying for our cell phone bills, insurance, all the normal bills you would have, health insurance. We are at $1,700. Like what?
For the month, for both
For the
of
month,
us.
for the both of us. This is insane.
Yeah.
But we also, at 1 month, ended up being at like $4,600 our first month RVing when we were moving really fast and we had the upfront border crossing fees and things like that. So I think it can really be a dramatic change.
The second part of that too was something about like, do we need more money than we thought? The one thing that I think universally we all had sticker shock on was just the tolls.
Oh yeah, we've been, even from the get-go, our plan was always to be here for an extended period of time. This was not like a 1-month excursion or anything like that. I mean, quite the opposite. We've been looking at, I think, 6 months, I think the entire time, right? I mean, I'm trying to remember back even to the beginning.
Yeah, we always planned to be here.
I think we've always planned to be here like 6 months. So our first month was really expensive. We were traveling really fast, and we were trying to get to Mexico City because we had to get to Mexico City for flights. That meant that we were spending a lot more on gas, a lot more on tolls. But after that 1 month, you can clearly see in the budget how much it dropped in the following month. And now, you know, if you're the kind of person who likes to travel in an RV and like sit, like find that cool spot and sit, like a quarantine situation, it's really inexpensive here. Like way cheaper for an RV park than probably you could find anywhere in America. So it's definitely for anybody. It's just a matter of like what's your style and what are you looking to do.
Yeah.
If you want to do a lot of excursions and you want to move really fast, just know it is going to be expensive.
And where you're at in Mexico makes a difference too, right? Because like Baja has a lot more boondocking opportunities for you, so you can camp technically for free for much longer, even cheaper than mainland Mexico, which is a lot more like RV parks. There's less boondocking opportunities, which increase your cost.
David Pierce, 58. How have you been doing with local grocery stores? Any new favorite items or new items on your menu?
Every place that we've been, the grocery store situation is vastly different.
So true.
There was a very high-end, the most luxurious grocery store I've ever been in Puebla. And then here we have like little local markets, which is also fantastic. So it's different everywhere we go. As far as like a new local dish or a new like item.
Cochinita pibil.
I knew you were going to say that.
Caitlin loves cochinita pibil.
We would agree that it's been vastly different. Mexico City
Would
and
we
Puebla
agree?
had very wonderful markets for us in our last video. We shared how happy
were
we
so
were
happy.
finding kale and organic produce, and I was so happy. But something we've eaten a lot more of since we've been here would be nopales, which are the cactus, and tortillas. We like make breakfast tacos. Sometimes we'll fry the tortilla and put a fried egg on top.
Bread and tortillas, corn tortillas, are made fresh every day. So they always, even if they're a couple days old and they're technically stale by local standards, they still taste better than anything you're gonna buy in a pack at the grocery store in the States.
Last one.
Oh, the last one.
Randy Rainwater. What food will you search out when you first re-enter the United States? I want like a really, really good cheeseburger.
That's a good one.
It's hard to get like what I think we're used to from a cheeseburger standpoint in the US.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very different.
For me, it's gonna probably be pizza and ice cream.
I'm thinking ramen. Ramen's like one thing I'm craving instantly right now. Either that or Southern barbecue.
Now we're going to play a fun game called Would You Rather. We have wonderful Would You Rather questions, and we have to answer them as fast as possible. There's really no right answer, but 50 points are given to the
right
correct answer. So we'll see how this goes.
Cash STT. Would you rather hit the roof of your RV in a tunnel on a trip through Mexico too soon, or have 100 monarch butterflies that are flying freely live in the RV with you?
Oh.
Butterflies.
I'd say tunnel.
I would also second the tunnel because we've had bugs live in our RV with us and it's not fun.
Ladybug infestation was awful. Took months.
Bad.
Oh, I've had the same thing. Oh,
Answer.
I still say butterflies because they can't bite you.
And they're pretty.
They're pretty.
They're pretty.
50 points all around.
50 points.
That was a great question.
So they land in your soup bowl. Cash STT. Would you rather permanently not have air conditioning or running water in your RV, or eat Hot Pockets for every meal?
I would not eat Hot Pockets for every meal, so I'm going to choose the first one.
Oh, man.
Even though they're both awful.
I would eat some Hot Pockets, sure. I mean,
For every meal for the rest of your life.
he didn't say the rest of your life.
Except permanently.
Permanently.
Sure. There's a lot of variety of Hot Pockets. I'm sticking to it.
I mean, Jim Gaffigan talks a lot about Hot Pockets.
I was looking at a box of Hot Pockets. They have a warning printed on the side. Said, warning, you just bought Hot Pockets. Hope you're drunk or heading home to a trailer.
So I'm gonna say Hot Pockets.
I definitely don't want to eat Hot Pockets.
You guys are gonna have no running water and no AC.
Yeah.
We've
We'll be
done
like a
with no
van
AC.
life and we'll just choose really good climates. And we get to eat amazing food. Oh, that delicious pasta and pizza and ice cream you want? We'll
Can't
just
have
eat
it
that
no
in
more.
front of your face.
Yeah.
No more.
You can have
When you
you can
guys
have
are-
a pepperoni Hot Pocket, a breakfast Hot Pocket,
cheese.
Ham and
ham
cheddar.
and cheese Hot Pockets,
Yeah, it'll just be ice cold in the center and burning, melting hot on the outside.
other Hot Pockets.
Is your Hot Pocket cold in the middle? It's frozen. But it can be served boiling lava hot. Will it burn my mouth? It'll destroy your mouth.
Hot Pockets.
Would you rather continue to travel and explore North America in your RVs at your expense, or fly first class to every destination you wish to see, staying at the Ritz-Carlton level hotels every night, all expenses paid by a benevolent benefactor? I feel like this is a trick question.
I know.
Caitlin, you go first.
Oh my.
So this is like a how much do you love your RV question. This is not fair.
I know, it's not fair at all.
Come on, lightning, go, go, go!
I'm gonna have somebody else pay for it. Why not?
I'm sticking with the RV.
I'm also sticking with the RV.
Paid for, baby, Ritz-Carlton.
Oh my god.
All the way.
Negative 50 points.
Oh, you're right. You can't just take away points.
Negative
Yeah,
50 points.
that was the right answer.
The
Caitlin.
girls get 50.
You'd rather go a month without a good place to hike or a month without a good restaurant to eat at?
Taste for adventure. That's a good
That's a
one.
good one.
I would say hike because I always want the good food. He says that after the Hot
So
Pocket
you would
question.
rather go without a good place to hike for a month?
Yes.
I would rather go without a good place to hike as well. I want good food.
I want good food.
Food. I want food.
All
I
right.
think we're all also very hungry right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, the urban harvest. Would you rather be self-quarantined at the beach or in the mountains?
I mean, beach. Well, yeah, that's my answer.
If we can go to the beach,
I
I'd say
know.
beach.
It was great.
Depends on the time of year, but mountains.
Beach.
Bye, Felicia.
50 points.
50 points.
I cannot believe we finished all those questions. Thank you so much for your wonderful would you rathers and questions about RVing here in Mexico or about us in general. This was so much fun for us, and if we didn't get to your specific question in this video, make sure to go watch the Newstate Nomads because we wanted to spice it up so it wasn't super repetitive and more fun for you. So they have awesome questions that they're going to answer over there. And then next week, where are we going to next?
The Grutas?
Las Grutas Tolatango. One of my favorite places we visited. So that's going to be a wonderful video. We'll be back with our usual time at 6 p.m. Mexico Mondays, where we're going to be sharing more Mexico and RV travel vlogs with you.
And until then, see you next week.
The Taste for Adventure asked, would you rather have a black tank dumping incident or have a water leak on your RV?
Okay, would you rather drink unpurified Mexican water for 1 day or lose your passports and wallets in Mexico?
Ooh, that's so tough.